Oh, snap! It's Christmas, everyone! Hey, I'm one coder of the Comment. Time for another edition of Hobby Toku Anime. Today we're going to talk about an anime. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done that. That ain't Beyblade, and that is Sword Art Online. We're mostly going to talk about season 2's episode 15 to 17 because it's Christmas. And after Christmas, there's New Year's, and we're going to celebrate the New Year by talking about Sword Art Online's New Year's filler mini arc. Which, let me start with a few recap of the series up to this point because I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will explain details that are important. So let's begin. After season 1, after the first half of season 1, episode 15 of coincidentally, basically Kirito meets returns out of Aincrad and now basically back in the present real world. They do that, they enter on my line, and basically the point is that arc sucks. But anyhow, after that, they do Gun Gale, which introduces the character Xenon. Then after that arc, she joins us, which this special takes place a week after that. So yeah, that's going to be a good thing. Basically, and also how he defeats the villain is with Excalibur. And yes, this arc is called the Excalibur mini arc. I like to call it Getting Excalibur arc. Okay, good. Now let's begin the story. We start off with Kirito and his sister basically about looking for the sword, discover that the legendary Excalibur is found in the LO, which is kind of weird because they know about it because at the end of the fairy dance arc. But anyhow, the thing is somewhere there. They explain that there's now Jotunheim, yes, for reference. Odin's son. Yes, I will explain that at the end. I will explain. Okay? Good. Basically, the next part is to do that. We get our intro, which is our second opening, version 1 of it, because there's a version 2 of this opening after the later arc, which we won't talk about because that's not really what happened yet. So, yeah. So, basically, that episode starts with our title, part 1, being forget, but basically that happens. They announce Xenon's new look. Basically, Xenon's new look kind of looks good, great, and awesome. With now being her fairy Alfheim look being basically freaking fox-looking lady, sexy. And also they recap that sword skills are added to AO, which they did in Extended Edition, but this is the first time they explain around that update, the same time when that became common. You have fusion skills, which are basically combinations of both magic and sword skills, which is kind of awesome. And there's like reason why is Clyde is a samurai, and they're like, wait, you forget that's the JRPG, they have magic abilities. And just to know, the magic abilities are fire, thunder, and slow. Yes, slow. Oh, my legs! Sorry, basically that. They do that, they interact, they go journey, they find this toffee thing, which they explain in the intro, which I forgot to mention. Do that, go ride, discover that the fairy goddess basically discovered Clue. Also, Yui basically this reveals it's a connection to freaking the AI programming connection and affect the story event. And if they don't fix it, we're gonna get Ragnarok, baby. They do that. They battle. Second episode begins with the battle of going dungeon race against time. Basically, they do that. They battle. They have 3 hours to do it. They do the battle. Part 1, part 2 ends with them getting ready for battle. Part 2. Basically, in part 2, they battle for most of the first half, which is kind of great. They do that. They battle. They made a random woman. You think it's a trap. Everyone's like, yeah, it's a trap. They do it. Freaking Clyde grabs it. And basically, this part of the episode that makes it kind of weird is I will explain in a moment. And it's something to do with the other moment I mentioned. I will explain. They battle, they find the boss of the area. Now for part 3. Basically, they battle, and it turns out in the middle of the battle, and also Kitty Toad can use both of his swords, and they explain in that part being he can use one sword at a time, then use the other back and forth, but he can't dual wield, which is kind of a weird loophole exposition where they do that in part 2. But anyhow, the big twist, the random woman that they saved was Thor. Yes, Thor Odin's son. Thank God with my hammer of no near, now let's beat you up. And it's like, destroys the Frost God, beat up. I know it's not the MCU, but yeah, Thor's here. Thor Odin's son! Sorry, that was a joke. But anyhow, they battle, they get the item, they're trying to get Excalibur, they drop, barely get it, buy it, which turned out to be a freaking, with Xenon using her arrow, basically grabs it, and Kitty Toad gains Excalibur now in the weapon, and the episode, part 3 ends in our finale of this mini arc ends with everyone celebrating the new year saying cheers to 2025. And yes, Sword Arc, it takes place between 2022 to 2026. Yeah, realism is not happening. Sorry about that. Hope you liked the video, and leave a comment below if you want me to do the rest of Sword Arc Online. I'm just doing this filler arc because it's the holidays and this is a good reward for you people. Merry Christmas. They come out saying bye-bye for now.